Good morning, everyone. Happy draft week. I'm gonna be making videos all week, of course. I'm not sure about the live show, everybody, because I have some family business to take care of in New York. My niece is gonna be performing, so I have to be there. Therefore, I don't know my internet situation completely. I'm like 99.9% sure that I'll be able to stream live during the draft from wherever I'm at. But there is that little slither of I don't know until I get everything there and hooked up. Now here, as you can see, I'm dealing with new cameras and new stuff here that I finally got it set up so I can jump on here and make videos a lot more regularly. Hopefully I can get it down to a video a day as soon as possible. But I'm set up here so I can come in here, turn on my camera, and go and send a pretty high quality video out to you. So hopefully all of this is working, but right now it's draft time. And the options that's going with this, that we have in this draft is just going through my mind over and over and over. I want to go through every single position. I'll go through it lightly with you right now, but during this week, and I will go live once this week just to set everything up. I don't know when that is going to be at this moment, but from quarterback position to tight end to possibly wide receiver to lineman to defensive line, of course, pass rush, heat, another linebacker, and you know what happened to our safety. We have all availability. Whatever stud falls to us at our pick, it's going to be beautiful because we'll be able to. If someone is just sitting there in the green room like, man, I hope somebody picked me, you might get picked by the Cowboys because we can use you. If you're a very good football player at your position, we probably can use you. Let's go down to the positions really fast. Quarterback, 1. During the Tony Romo time, I didn't like the fact that Romo never had someone strong behind him. You know, that was what propelled Troy Aikman. If you guys, this oldest may remember when we drafted Troy Aikman, we also got Steve Walsh, same draft, competition, let it soar. You know what I'm saying? And then even though Troy Aikman wasn't one to worry about or wasn't, and I foresee Dak as being that same guy, we still had someone strong behind Troy at all times. So I believe in that. I believe that second person pushes the first person. It helps the starter out. We never got, that was one of the things that we never had for Romo. There's a lot of stuff we didn't have for Romo, but that was one of the things we never had for Romo. We never had anyone pushing him behind him, you know, helping him. And so I think Kitno was the best thing we ever had as something that really helped Romo in that backup quarterback position. Everybody else was no help. But I kind of want that for Dak. But the pickings are kind of thin in this draft as far as quarterback. So I don't know what we can do as far as getting someone that's going to be, you know, better than Kellen Moore. To be honest, you know, I like Joshua Dobbs because of brains. We can get him later though, and also I like Nathan Peterman. I like Nathan Peterman. But both of them we can get hopefully later on. If they go too early, so what? Let them go. But I just don't see anyone other than those two. Even the big guys. The big guys will be gone in the first or second round, and we're not going to touch the quarterback that early, regardless of whatever you think. Well, whatever I think. But I'm talking about in the later rounds or in unrestricted free agency, rookie free agency, and I just don't know. I just gonna have to defer to the scouts, but I believe we do need a strong quality QB2 behind Dak. And preference, of course, preference is someone that you don't want to get a Brock Osweiler to back up Dak Prescott because you have to change your offense because Brock can't do the things Dak can do as far as mobility and things of that sort. So you want someone that you don't have to change the offense much, but still you want a quality backup in case Dak either falters because he's still young at this point. You don't know. I mean, at 90-something% with Dak, but he could falter. You know, we need someone there, or if he gets hurt or something like that. You know, but he is sturdy, but that still can happen because he is human. All right, running back, I don't think we even need to talk about it. Maybe we can replace what we had with Lance Dunbar, but you know, we got Zeke that can catch the ball. We have, and I'm sure Darren McFadden can catch the ball if he was returning kicks, because if you played the game, catching a punt is kind of hard. So running back position is pretty straight. We don't have to worry about that. Rookie undrafted free agency is where we're gonna go down that route. Wide receiver is the most interesting thing so far right now with me, because I'm seeing in the chat rooms there's a lot of little chat that gets people yelled at about Dez Bryant. Dez is probably the only chip that we have at the moment. Some people believe, and I see both sides of the argument, so don't get mad at me for even just saying this, because I'm clearly on Dez's side, and I'm clearly on getting the best we can for the organization side. I'm on both sides, to be honest. And I said last year, when you remember when we were having, pretty good success without Dez, I was saying we need to figure out how to get all of what is in Dez Bryant out of Dez Bryant, so that contract and the amount of money that we're paying him makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And in my opinion, we kind of did. Dez was coming around towards the end of the season, and I can see Dez as being a real threat. So I'd personally like to see another season with Dez, with this whole group or whatever. But at the same time, if an opportunity presents itself, like there's been mocks where Mike Williams has dropped, there's been mocks where Corey Davis has dropped. You got John Ross out there that has the speed that can change a game. You have different things that you can put in your formula moving forward, right there, possibly at your disposal. So there, I can see the camp that says we're not going to get that much production out of Dez because of the way we play, because of a run-first offense. Because we're gonna keep running, and if you don't stop the run, then you lose. We don't have to pass, we won't. So since we're more of that philosophy, it's gonna be hard to get your worth out of a player like Dez Bryant. So there it is. Like I said, don't put me in this argument. I am not in it. I'm just watching it. I'm just watching it, and I see both sides. I really want Dez to keep wearing that number 88 because he's an unstoppable force. But also, if we can get a ton. Look. I was a Herschel Walker fan. Okay? From University of Georgia, I watched him there. And I was so happy when he was a Cowboy, and when he was traded, I was a little bit hurt. So there. All right, tight end. There's some good tight ends in this draft as well, and we know that Jason Witten's not going to be there in the future, and that could be another toy or another cog for Dak Prescott to make this offense even stouter. Because at this point, you're not going to fix the defense with a draft. Hopefully. I mean, we had a pretty good draft last year, but you're probably not going to fix the entire defense with the draft. And your best bet, in a lot of people's mind, and in my mind too, is to make sure your offense is just as good as it was the year before. And that's why signing Terrence Williams was a big move, because right now we're good in our entire receiving setup. We're good. Nothing has to change. If an opportunity presents itself to put you in a better salary cap situation and younger offensively, so you can allocate some money from the offense to the defense, then you can keep that in mind. But right now, at wide receiver, we're good. We're as good as we've been in a long time. All right, and I'm putting the tight ends with that. And also, I'm very interested in Rico Gathers. If you've been watching stuff like I have on the off season, you've seen little videos of him at practice. and how him and Romo was virtually unstoppable out there with the practice squad. So I'm very interested in Rico Gathers and what we have right there. So I will probably want to hold back on a tight end unless OJ Howard drops to our pick, something stupid like that. Or in the second round, there's some tight ends that if they drop down to our pick in the second round, also get. But right now, we're good, and all the weapons we're good. Offensive line, I was watching NFL, NFL.com's NFL Network mock draft last night, and there might be some droppage in offensive line. And if we can solidify that right tackle position and give us a little flexibility on the offensive line, I'm not against that. Again, make your strength stronger and slowly build the other side of the ball exactly the way you want it. Don't freak out and have to get like 9 positions over there and just fill in roles and all that kind of stuff. If you have a strong offense, keep with strong, and then slowly build up the other side of the ball the way you want to build up the other side of the ball. So I'm totally not against a right tackle if it's the elite player of the draft. And I'm talking about droppage, you guys. I'm talking about people that are supposed to go in like maybe 10 to 15 range, and they're down there at our pick. Then you have to make a decision. Is this guy talented enough to really help our organization moving forward? Because we can actually use this position. Now flipping on the defensive side of the ball. Defensive line is my preference. Defensive line is everybody's preference. I think defensive line is number 1 on the list. But we can't just go blindly and say, oh, if we don't get a defensive lineman, we've lost the draft, because we don't know if these guys are actually that good. You don't know until you put them out there. And we want to make sure that we get quality out of our position. For instance, the first 3, of course, we're not going to talk about the number 1 guy, Myles Garrett, but we have, oh man, I can't think of their names right now, but we have 3 guys, Tack from UCLA. We have Charles Harris from Missouri, and we have Barnett from Tennessee. I'm glad. And then we got Taco from Charlton from Michigan. He could be there at our pick as well. But those 3 guys after the first guy, if those 3 guys are gone, then we'll have to think, because Taco we probably can get a little later. Everybody on that next tier of defensive end, we might can get a little later. So what I'm saying is, you don't want to jump and get that defensive end just because I need a defensive end and a top corner like Kevin King is sitting there, or top safety is sitting there, or a top linebacker. What if Reuben Foster's there? I'm not scared of drinking too much water. He is not Randy Gregory. I've debated this a little bit in my mind, and then how Jason Garrett knows Nick Saban, and how Nick Saban, if Nick Saban said, no, the dude's gold, then Reuben Foster. There's so many, players that could fall, that could give us a lot of value there. And then in the second round, we can come and we can pick up a player that is probably a first round talent with defensive end, that the class is just so deep that they're falling to the bottom of the second round. So that is a possibility. That's why we got to keep all options on the table. I think I just talked about it with a linebacker with Reuben Foster. That's probably the only one that I would mess with in the first round if he dropped. Maybe Jared Davis from Florida. Mean individual, but linebacker. Come on, Jalen Smith. And then last, secondary, there's just so many options there, and I have so many favorites there. There's one guy, Lorenzo Jerome. He'll be later, but I just wanted to say that name out there, because if something great happens to Lorenzo Jerome, I want it to be known that I really liked him coming out of this process, because watching his tape, watching him at the combine, everything about Lorenzo Jerome, I really like. I know the Cowboys didn't invite him in and all that kind of stuff, and I know who they like. I don't know if they like this guy, but I like me some Lorenzo Jerome. All right, guys, I'm gonna start watching some NFL AM. Like I said, this is like 4:30 in the morning right now. But I'm gonna watch some NFL AM, and then I'll be on my social. I'll be on my Twitter all day, and you can get back with me, and you can ask me any questions. I'll address it in tomorrow's video. So this is it. This is the start. I'm trying to make a video day. It's going to be either Cowboy content or it's going to be me playing Madden, which our new season just started last night. So I'll be playing Madden or I'll be talking about the Cowboys. All right, guys, holla at you. It's draft time. I'm ready. All right, holla. Peace.